picture this. You wake up and the very first thing you do is reach for your phone.
Oh, guilty. I think we all do it.
Right. You're squinting at that super bright screen in a totally dark room, you know, scrolling through emails before you've even had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, starting the marathon immediately.
Exactly.
Right.
Then you're in the car driving to work, and your eyes are just constantly darting between fast-moving traffic and, like, the harsh glare of the morning sun.
Right. The strain is already adding up.
And then you get to your desk, and for the next 8 hours, you were basically just staring at a computer monitor.
Mm-hmm.
After work, maybe you watch some television, read a book, or do some more scrolling. I mean, we demand constant, tireless, microscopic work from our eyes every single minute we are awake.
It really is. Well, it's the ultimate invisible labor, isn't it?
It totally is. And yet we barely give them a second thought, that is, until they start to struggle.
Yeah, we treat our vision as an absolute given, just, a permanent fixture of our reality, right up until the exact moment the text on a restaurant menu looks a little fuzzy.
Or when headlights from oncoming traffic suddenly seem blindingly bright.
Yeah, exact.
And that is the exact mission of our deep dive today. We're pulling from a really fascinating collection of research anchored by an excerpt exploring healthy eye aging and a targeted nutritional blend called Visium Plus.
It's a really comprehensive look at the subject.
It is. We're going to explore the actual biology of age-related vision changes, the surprising daily habits that are either helping or hurting your eye health right now, and how specific nutrition plays a vital role in defending your vision.
The defense part is key there.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you love a good aha moment, the real surprise today is going to be just how much control you actually have over something we usually just brush off as getting older.
That shift in perspective is crucial. I mean, while gradual changes in our vision are a natural, unavoidable part of human biology.
Right, it happens to everyone.
Exactly. But the rate at which those changes happen, and more importantly, how comfortable your eyes feel during that decades-long process, are heavily influenced by your daily lifestyle.
So it's not entirely out of our hands.
Not at all. Today, we're going far beyond just, listing symptoms. We are going to map out the biological mechanisms to understand not just what is happening to your vision, but why it's happening.
Because before we can talk about how to protect our vision, we really have to understand the machinery. I mean, the human eye is incredibly sophisticated.
It's an absolute marvel of engineering.
Yeah, I like to think of it like a high-end vintage mechanical camera. You've got all these delicate moving gears, the clear lenses, the highly sensitive light sensors, the physical shutters.
That's a great way to picture it.
Right. And if you take a vintage mechanical camera and you snap thousands of photos a day, every single day for decades, eventually you're going to get microscopic physical wear and tear on those structures.
It's inevitable.
Our eyes are absolutely no different.
And if we look at the specific structures undergoing that shift, it's a massive amount of biological hardware. Take the lens, for example.
Okay.
When we are young, the lens inside our eye is crystal clear and highly flexible. It's constantly changing shape to focus light.
Like an autofocus on a camera.
Right. But over decades of use, the proteins within that lens naturally begin to change and stiffen.
Oh, wow. So they physically harden.
They do. Then you have the macula. That's the tiny, highly sensitive central area of your retina responsible for your sharp, straight-ahead vision.
A high-definition sensor.
Exactly. The cells there slowly thin out over time. And add to that the narrowing of microscopic blood vessels, the weakening of the tiny ciliary muscles that control your focus, and the slow degradation of the tear-producing glands.
Okay, so the vintage camera is physically wearing down across the board.
Yeah.
But here is what I want to push back on.
Sure.
If this is such a slow, decades-long biological process, why do so many of us panic? Why does it constantly feel like our vision is suddenly failing overnight?
What's fascinating here is the sheer computing power of the human brain.
The brain.
Yes. The biological wear and tear on your eye structures is so incredibly gradual that your brain simply compensates for it in real time.
Really? It just hides the damage.
Basically, yeah. It acts like an advanced image processing software, filling in the visual gaps and adjusting the contrast internally. You don't realize the physical machinery is wearing down because your brain is working overtime to give you a clear, seamless picture of the world.
That is wild.
It's not until the physical structures reach a critical tipping point, say, the lens becoming just a bit too rigid for those ciliary muscles to bend, that the brain can no longer hide the deficit.
And that is the exact moment You consciously notice a sudden decline in your ability to focus.
Spot on.
So it isn't happening overnight at all. Your brain just finally hit the limits of its processing power and gave up trying to hide the hardware degradation from you.
Yeah, the warning signs have likely been sneaking up on you for years, playing out in your everyday routines. But because they happen so gradually, we brush them off as temporary fatigue.
So let's bring this into the real world, to the everyday warning signs that you, listening right now, might be completely ignoring.
Good idea.
The first major shift is how we process light. Suddenly, you find yourself holding a book directly under a lamp or, turning up the brightness on your phone to maximum just to read a text message.
I see that all the time. Biologically, the aging eye is literally letting less light reach the retina.
Because of the lens getting stiffer?
Well, the lens doesn't just get stiffer, it also gets slightly denser and can actually take on a very faint yellow tint.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which acts like a filter blocking out light. On top of that, the muscles controlling your pupil lose some of their elasticity.
So it can't open as wide.
Exactly. Your pupil just doesn't open as wide in the dark as it used to.
Which naturally leads to the speed of your focus. I mean, think about the mechanics of your daily routine. You're reading a recipe on your kitchen counter, and then you quickly look up to check the clock on the wall.
Right, a sudden shift in distance.
Or you're looking down at your phone and then back up to read a street sign. Those ciliary muscles, the tiny springs in our vintage camera that pull the lens into shape, are just losing their snap.
They physically take longer to switch the lens from a near focus shape to a distant focus shape.
And driving at night is where this all collides. I know so many people who dread night driving now because the street lights and oncoming headlights look intensely bright and scattered.
Yeah, people hate it. And that's not just your imagination. Because the internal lens is becoming denser and less perfectly clear, it stops focusing light cleanly onto a single point on the retina.
So where does the light go?
Instead, it scatters that incoming light inside the eye, which creates those uncomfortable halos and that really intense glare effect.
The scattering of light is a perfect example of a mechanical change creating a practical symptom. And speaking of modern practical symptoms, the sheer volume of screen time we endure introduces digital eye strain.
Oh, definitely.
When you stare at a computer for hours, your focusing muscles are basically locked in a state of continuous tension. It leads to temporary blur, tension headaches, and even neck discomfort.
It's a localized fatigue that drastically reduces your daily comfort.
But out of all these signs, the one that absolutely blew my mind was the link between dry eyes and watery eyes.
It catches a lot of people off guard.
Wait, my eyes are watering because they are dry. That sounds like a complete paradox. But when you dig into the mechanics of the tear-producing glands, it makes total sense.
It really does seem completely counterintuitive until you look at how the eye's lubrication system is built. Your eye relies on a complex 3-layered tear film to stay comfortable.
Okay, what are the layers?
You have a mucus layer to stick the tear to the eye, a watery layer for moisture, and a crucial outer oil layer that prevents everything from evaporating.
So the oil seals it all in.
Exactly. And as we age, the glands that produce that rich, high-quality oil start to underperform. Yeah. Without the oil, the watery layer evaporates almost instantly. The eye dries out, it becomes gritty, and you get that horrible sand in the eye burning sensation.
And because that baseline lubrication is broken, the body essentially panics. It senses the burning and triggers an emergency reflex.
That's right.
It completely floods the eye with tears to flesh out whatever it thinks is causing the irritation. But here's the kicker. These reflex tears are low quality.
Very low quality. They are mostly just water.
Right. They lack those essential stabilizing oils. So they don't actually coat and soothe the eye at all. They just run straight down your face.
Exactly. Your eyes are watering constantly, but at a cellular level, they are still completely unlubricated.
It is a desperate, really inefficient biological response. And it perfectly highlights how much unseen activity is happening beneath the surface.
Right.
I mean, we are recognizing the warning signs now, but we have to uncover the hidden daily stressors that are actually driving all this microscopic wear and tear.
The root causes, yeah.
Here's where it gets really interesting. In health spaces, you constantly hear the term oxidative stress, but bringing it back to our vintage camera metaphor makes it incredibly concrete.
I like this comparison.
Think of oxidative stress like rust. If you park a beautiful vintage camera on a beach house porch, the salty ocean air, the intense UV sunlight, and the environmental pollution are constantly weathering the metal and the gears.
Taking a toll.
The rust forms slowly, atom by atom. Our eyes are constantly weathering our environment just like that. Sunlight Harsh blue light from screens, air pollution, and even our own normal metabolic processes generate unstable molecules called free radicals.
Those free radicals are the rest.
Right. Our eyes are essentially rusting at a cellular level every single day.
And that rust is relentless because of the sheer metabolic demand of vision.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, the retina has one of the highest rates of oxygen consumption per gram of any tissue in the human body. Your eyes are burning massive amounts of energy continuously just to process incoming photons into electrical signals for your brain.
So they're like an engine running constantly at the red line.
Precisely. And high energy production naturally creates a high volume of metabolic exhaust, those free radicals we just mentioned.
Makes sense.
Because the eyes are so hyperactive, they require a massive, continuous supply of oxygen and nutrients to clear out that exhaust. This makes healthy cardiovascular circulation absolutely critical.
Oh, so blood flow is key.
Definitely. If your blood flow is poor, the delicate tissues of your eyes simply aren't getting the delivery of supplies they need to fight off that oxidative rust.
It's all incredibly interconnected. The antioxidants we consume are basically the protective rust-proofing layer for our cells. But it's not just about delivering nutrients. If we carry the camera metaphor forward, at some point you have to take the camera into the mechanic shop to clean the gears and re-oil the springs.
Right.
And for our eyes, that mechanic shop is sleep.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we tend to treat our eyes as isolated orbs sitting in our skull, somehow disconnected from the rest of our bodily functions.
Like they're just webcams plugged into our heads.
Yes. We assume sleep is just about resting tired eyes, like powering down a monitor. But biologically, sleep is an intensely active period of cellular maintenance.
What's actually happening while we sleep?
While your eyes are closed, they are being deeply rehydrated. That complex three-layer tear film we discussed is being fully restored and rebalanced.
Oh, so the oil gets replenished.
Yep. The tiny ciliary focusing muscles finally release their tension and recover. The cellular debris and metabolic exhaust from the day's visual processing are literally washed away.
Wow.
If you are chronically skimping on sleep, you are repeatedly slipping your only biological repair cycle.
And you can't run the repair shop without raw materials, which brings up hydration.
Mhm.
If you are chronically dehydrated, your body simply does not have the fluid volume to manufacture those baseline lubricating tears.
You're just asking for trouble.
You are guaranteeing that sand in the eye feeling. So knowing these specific threats, the failing springs, the accumulating rust, the skip repair cycles, we have to transition into the defense strategy.
This is where we can take action.
Exactly. How do we practically fight back and protect the machinery?
We have to utilize a multi-pronged approach to maintain long-term visual wellness, and, well, the best place to start is with immediate physical habits that relieve mechanical stress.
The 20-20-20 rule is a perfect starting point here. It's incredibly actionable for anyone listening who is just tethered to a computer all day.
It's so easy to do.
Right. Every 20 minutes, you look at something at least 20 feet away for a minimum of 20 seconds.
Just 20 seconds.
Yeah. By looking far away, you are physically taking the tension off those ciliary muscles. You are letting the springs in the camera uncoil and relax.
It gives them a much-needed break.
Pair that with a conscious effort to blink more often. When we stare at screens, our blink rate basically drops by half.
We turn into statues.
We do. We just sit there, eyes wide open, letting that tear of film evaporate. Conscious blinking acts as a manual mechanical reset, spreading a fresh layer of hydration across the eye.
It's a simple, free habit that pays massive dividends in daily comfort. And moving outward, there is external protection.
Like physical barriers.
Right. We wouldn't dream of spending a day at the beach without applying sunscreen to protect our skin cells from mutating, yet we routinely walk outside without protecting the highly sensitive cells of our eyes from ultraviolet radiation.
That's such a good point.
Wearing quality sunglasses that block both UVA and UVB rays, along with wide-brimmed hats, provides a literal physical shield. It stops a massive amount of that environmental oxidative stress from ever hitting the lens and the retina in the first place.
It's basically keeping the camera out of the salty air.
Exactly.
We also have to maintain the delivery system. Staying physically active, even just, incorporating a moderate daily walk, keeps your cardiovascular system strong. That ensures that nutrient-rich blood is constantly pumping up to those metabolically demanding eye tissues.
Movement is essential.
It's also why avoiding smoking is universally recommended. Smoking fundamentally damages blood vessels and restricts that vital circulation. But let's dig into the actual fuel we are delivering. Let's talk about the rust-proofing.
The dietary defense.
Yes.
The biological reality is that your eyes need a highly specific, highly colorful array of compounds to neutralize free radicals. We are talking about deep leafy greens like spinach and kale, bright bell peppers, carrots, sweet potatoes, blueberries, citrus fruits, and tomatoes.
Basically, if it's brightly colored and grows in the earth, your eyes need it.
Essentially, yes.
Compounds like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are found heavily in dark leafy greens, actually accumulate in the retina and act like internal biological sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light and neutralizing oxidative damage.
They're incredibly potent.
But we also have to face a harsh reality here. Modern diets, our insanely busy schedules, the reliance on processed foods. I mean, most of us are not consistently hitting that perfect, colorful, antioxidant-rich plate at every single meal.
Nobody's perfect, and that reality creates nutritional gaps.
Right.
Because the eyes are running a metabolic marathon every single day, any gap in your diet leaves those tissues temporarily vulnerable. Without enough circulating antioxidants, the free radicals are left unchecked, and the microscopic wear and tear accelerates.
Which brings us to targeted support, specifically looking at the Visium Plus formula highlighted in our research. It's formulated as a complex blend of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, alongside specific mushrooms and botanical extracts.
It's a very targeted profile.
So what does this all mean? Biologically speaking, is reaching for a complex blend like this just a modern crutch because we're too busy to eat a salad? Or is it doing something fundamentally different for the eye's machinery?
This raises an important question about the role of supplementation in human biology. The eye doesn't rely on one single magic ingredient to function.
Right, there's no silver bullet.
Exactly. It requires dozens of specific nutrients working synergistically in a complex chemical symphony. A targeted blend like Visium Plus is not a free pass to eat poorly or stare at a screen for 14 hours straight. It is formulated to be a biological bridge.
Okay, so it's intended to work perfectly alongside a lifestyle that includes the 20-20-20 rule, UV protection, regular exercise, and deep sleep.
Precisely. It acts as foundational nutritional support. It provides a daily, reliable baseline to ensure that those hyperactive eye tissues always have the raw materials they need to neutralize oxidative stress.
Bridging the gaps.
Yes. This is especially vital for delivering specific botanical extracts or concentrated antioxidants that are incredibly difficult to source consistently from a standard modern diet. It is an insurance policy for your rust proofing, ensuring the metabolic demands of the eye are met even on the days when your dietary habits fall short.
So to bring all this together for you listening right now, age-related vision changes, the slow, microscopic wear and tear on your internal camera, are an unavoidable reality of being human.
We all go through it.
But the speed at which that machinery degrades and how comfortable your eyes feel as you navigate your life are heavily dictated by the choices you make every single day.
You have the agency to manage your environment. You can choose to rest your focusing muscles, to prioritize cardiovascular health so nutrients actually reach the optic tissues, and to ensure you are fueling your cellular machinery with the right combination of vitamins and antioxidants.
Whether through whole, colorful foods, targeted nutritional blends, or a combination of both.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, protecting your vision isn't just about whether you can read the tiny print on a medicine bottle or scroll through your phone without a tension headache.
It's so much more than that.
It is fundamentally about preserving your independence. It's about maintaining your ability to drive safely at night, to work comfortably, and ultimately to preserve your vibrant connection to the colorful world around you.
Vision is our primary, most immediate tether to our environment. And before we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a completely different angle to mull over, building on a tiny biological detail we touched on earlier.
Oh, I always love a paradigm shift. What's the thought?
Well, when we were mapping out the anatomical hardware, we mentioned the nerve pathways connecting the eye to the brain.
Yeah.
What's incredible is that embryologically speaking, the retina doesn't just connect to the brain, it is literally formed from the exact same tissue as the brain during our development.
Really?
Yes, your eyes are quite literally an extension of your central nervous system pushed outward into your skull.
Wait, so the eye isn't just a separate organ feeding data to the brain? It is actual brain tissue interacting with the outside world. That is wild.
It is. So if our eyes are essentially an exposed extension of our brain, could the key to preserving our vision lie just as much in keeping our minds neuroplastic and sharp?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Right. If the physical hardware, the lenses, the tiny muscles, the tear glands, slowly and unavoidably degrades over time, perhaps we can continuously train our software, their brain, to better interpret those weakening, noisy signals.
That's a fascinating concept.
It suggests that alongside good nutrition, UV protection, and the 20-20-20 rule, constantly challenging your brain with new tasks and lifelong learning might just be the ultimate hidden vision supplement.
Train the software to compensate for the aging hardware. I absolutely love that. Keep your mind continuously sharp, keep your internal camera fueled and rust-proofed. And seriously,
Good.
wait, let me rephrase that. Seriously, don't forget to blink.